right?
Hey, the Louisiana Purchase was bigger. That Louisiana Purchase land that they had, it was bigger than just Louisiana when they did that land.
So what they did is they followed the Rocky Mountains up the West Coast to Oregon and Washington State. And then they marched back across the land. They went to the Appalachian Mountains. So it's everything south of the Mississippi. I mean, not the Canadian border, everything south of the Canadian border. West of the Appalachian Mountains, east of the Rocky Mountains, going down into Louisiana. That's Big Mama land.
Yeah, cooking up with Big Mama, man.
Right. Now, all of our settlers, anybody that came, had to settle on the eastern side of the Appalachians. If they came from the east, if they came from the west, they had to settle on the western portion from the Rockies on the western side to the coast, right? Until they was able to get a viable piece of land. Big Mama would allot them a piece of land once they've been around and the nature of them is seen. Then she give them a plot of land and tell them, vine and fig tree, what you do on this land is your own vine and fig tree, but we all go to pay homage to Big Mama. Right? So when you send your delegations across, you have your chief scouts check in with the chief scouts on the land and the territory you traverse. We don't want people coming through without us knowing they coming through because it looked like they under attack. Because we travel in caravans, in groups. And when we all went to fight in the Seminole Wars, we left in tribes. Right? And they called them Seminoles because that's actually from a Latin word which means to be mixed, semi. Partial, because we was a mixture of tribes. Right? Now they tell the story that the Seminoles was African escaped slaves and Native Americans to try to make us think that we didn't have nobody that looked like us over here. Now, I keep telling people the Africans been telling us for the longest we indigenous over here. We organic to the land over here. Ab original. That means original from the heart. Ab is the Egyptian word, mean heart. Right? So we are ab original. We from the original or energy is source energy. Ab or, right? And then you add the suffix original. Right? Of or pertaining to those two things. The heart of the origin or the or energy, source energy. That's tying us back on the maker, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Thus says Elijah Muhammad. Right? That's all wise, right, and exact. What the people in the comments talking about? We ain't made no acknowledgement of the comments yet.
Yeah. The comments, they just they're shouting us out, keeping it true. Alien warlord, Inky was a scientist. Okay. Hey, if you got any comments, any questions for the brother Rod Haynes, post them in the comments. Like I say, I posted this. The brother don't do it for money, but we like to show the brother love, because the big brother love, because he coming through, he be dropping it on us, man. He be giving us the pieces that we need. So I posted his Cash App in the links. So hit him up, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about sending young L nothing, man. Just send it to brother Rod Haynes. And yeah, so if you got any questions, man, hit us up, man, because we could keep going, but we want to get some feedback from y'all so we can see, what we could talk about.
Okay, so let's see if we can't find the resources part. Where it was talking about the resources.
Okay, label rights. Okay, let me do it. Let me get it. Let's see. All right, I think here's somewhat protection, culture, heritage, and property. Is that a good one?
Stop. Back up.
Okay. Right there.
Right there. Okay. So this is protection of cultural heritage and intellectual property. This is for the people in the music and entertainment industry who've been getting 360 raping you record deals. Right. And for the ones that the Jewish Defense League, the JDL, was murdering them, following that order of the Catholic Church that we went over earlier. Right. And when they was murdering them, they was taking they earned property because their intellectual property is theirs. But they was tricking them out of it and signing them into contracts, using a system of levying liens in order to leave the family deprived after the fact. That means that everything they took from Paris Jackson, they have to give it back to her.
Dang. That's crazy.
Her whole father estate that they took from her, the Sony records got to go back to her. All of that got to go back to her. And because he didn't default on his estate. They got to give her the opportunity to adjust the records of the estate, which she couldn't have had enough time to do that because she was a baby. Right? So they had to hold it. The proper process in law is hold the estate in abeyance until the children turn old enough to resolve the estate. So they got rid of it before her 18th birthday. She didn't reach the age of majority. They got to give it all back to her. They robbed the baby. They robbed the baby with their lies. They literally robbed the baby of her father's hard-earned estate. Right. So this is what this is talking about right here.
All right. You want to go down? You want to find that part about the resources though, right? To the
right to development. That's indigenous people had a right to maintain and determine their own priorities with respect to their political, economic, social, and cultural development in conformity with their own cosmovision. They also have the right to be guaranteed the enjoyment of their own means of sustenance and development, and to engage freely in their economic activities. This is right here is our family bank. This is telling us that we have to put our family banks back together so we can decentralize the centralized bank, and everybody, big mama, gonna have their own family bank and their own accountants in the family, their money handlers. It say the right include the development of policies, plans, program, and strategies, and the exercise of their right to development and to implement them in accordance with their political and social organizations, norms, and procedures, own cosmovision and institution. So when they saying cosmovision, right, that means your cosmology, cosmogony review. How do you see the creation story is your own business, right? And that they don't have no right to step on your belief systems with your cosmovision. We destined to rule Earth. Why did we say that? Because we have the blood tied to the land of the rulers of the earth. That's all. It's nothing personal. It's just family. And don't just believe what they tell you. Then you'll start seeing it for what it is. You know? And so when we tell people to recognize that they God, there's one thing we got to understand. One thing that's real important. Me personally, I'm gonna personalize this for myself so nobody don't feel like I'm picking on them. If somebody tell me, recognize I'm God, then they recognize the God in me. They should know, if they know anything about me or anything about the legend that leads you to who I am, they would know one thing. I might not do nothing you want me to do. I might not do nothing you tell me to do. But I guarantee you, I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to do it, how it is told to me to do it until I get it right. But just because it don't look like, sound like, smell like, or taste like how you want me to move, that don't mean I ain't moving the way I'm told to move by the Spirit. And that's where we all get caught up trying to keep up with the Joneses. You can't keep up with the Joneses in the spiritual pursuit. Because the Joneses is looking after the dollar. Joneses is trying to go to work every day. Which ain't nothing wrong with that, because that's part of the struggle. You know, I've been working my whole life since I can remember. I remember shoveling snow when I was 4, 5 years old. So I know that, you know, work is part of being who we are. But it comes a point like now. I'm done with this system. I'm done with the way they run this system. I'm done with the falsehood, the lies, the bullshit, the deceit, the treachery, the fake love, the fake hugs. I'm tired of all of that. So I don't want no more parts of it. I'm done participating in foolishness and ignorance. I'm done. So if you think that I'm just going to accept it because you said it, you're probably about 98% wrong. I'm not going to just accept it because you said it. And if you think I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, then you come show me what you think I'm supposed to be doing. And that's how I say that for anybody listening. If somebody tell you you're not doing your part to a sin, you tell them to show you what the hell they think you ought to be doing if they think you're not doing it right. Because there is no blueprint for majority of us. The blueprints are all in the Catholic Church, and we have them. They written. Step-by-step instructions to a sin at any given day of the week. We have that. But Francis don't want to release it as that parasite in them been holding the documents hostage. But we don't need them. Because we didn't always have things written on paper. We got stuff written in our DNA. If we follow the DNA, if we follow the obstacle, what make us emotionally struggle, then we'll find the path. Because fear, pain, and misery are the tools of control. If you study, did the volume go down again? Facebook be doing that, so I just be sitting here in the same spot and the volume will go up and down on its own. Anyway, so if you study and you do your part, then the only person can tell you whether you're doing it correctly or incorrectly Can you hear me now, Don? Anybody can chime in if y'all can hear me. I don't know what's going on with this Facebook situation. They've been trying to stop me for a long time from delivering information. So it don't really matter. I'm still gonna put it out. Oh, okay. Okay, so here we go. The blueprint is on your DNA. So you're going to have these urges, feelings. You're going to be angry at stuff that don't make sense to you. That's because you're supposed to think through it. You're going to feel heartbroken about a relationship and the person you ain't seen in years. That's because you're supposed to think through it. Why am I feeling this way? What does this mean? How do I handle this experience? Yep. When you put all these things together in your mind while you're going through these erratic emotions, you start making the emotion make sense. When the emotion begin to make sense, this is where you at mentally. Raising it from here, you at the eye level. When the emotions start to make sense, emotions don't make sense. Emotions generally don't make sense. They're irrational. But when they start making sense, you've raised your mental and your emotional to a similar level. You know what I'm saying? You raise them to a similar level. Now the emotions and the mind working together. This is the ascension. When that harmony, that divine masculine, divine feminine within start playing off each other. Because the brain, right side of the brain is feminine, left side masculine. Right brain creative, left brain is organizing. So it's linear logic. Right brain is abstract, artistic. Left brain is linear mathematic. So when you can bring the two together, then the artistic abilities start to make sense to the mathematics, and the mathematics start to be beautiful to the artistic. So you start making the two come together. And then This is when the king and queen chamber start to communicate regularly. That's what they call the sacred union in your brain. Well, in the 3D world, ceremonial magic works the best and is strongest for this reason. It gives us a point of reference, and that's the hardest thing to get when you're doing a silent meditation, is a point of reference, because you're in a free fall through upper ranks of dimensions. You're in a free fall up, and normally you fall down. That's how we got here when they blew that collider the last time, and they made us come into this 3D realm and get stuck. But when we start to fall up, and we're trying to orient to the chaos around us, because we're going through straight chaos as we going up. When we get to the top, now we can look over it and we can put the chaos in its correct order. And this is what they call ascending to your God self, when you start to put the chaos in your mind in the correct order. All of these processes take place inside the self. You gotta conquer the irrational thought. Right? The irrational thought comes from the emotions being expressed in mental imagery. Like, you got different learning styles. You have some people that learn through the feeling, they can feel it. Some people learn through the sound, they can hear it. Some people learn through the sight, and they can see it. And some people learn through the taste and smell, olfactory, and they can smell it, they can taste it. All these different sensations. Then you got some people that learn through all of them together. Omniscient, they can learn through any of it. When this takes place, you have to unite the mind stuff with the heart stuff, the creative and artistic with the intellectual and the mental. And when you do this, this is what causes all of those chakras to start spinning at a rapid rate. As they spin, it shoots the energy up to the next chakra. Most of us are blocked at the heart chakra by black goo. Now, I'm not going to deal with black goo because I dealt with it before. Y'all can look it up. The energy workers around the world is already telling y'all this black goo is a bad dude. It's hard to get out of the heart chakra. And it's a combination of science and what we call magic or sorcery. It's not just one. It's the combination of science and sorcery. They put them together to make them the most powerful force we could face. And it's been holding us back a long time. Yes. I like how you thinking, Curtis Henderson, because I'm gonna inbox you later, because we're gonna do some work together, because you bring up stuff that'll help a lot of people. Okay, so now when we looking in to the 3D world, we get stuck on the car, the house, the dog, and the mailman. Bullshit. Bullshit. That shit is passe. But they tell you not to be selfish. Now check this out. If you're trying to attain God status, they say you don't be selfish. But then as soon as you get God status, they say you God. All of it is about you. That's selfish. So that's a contradiction again. So you got to look for the contradictions, and then you got to find out, why are they there? Why is the contradiction there? Because the contradiction is there to get your attention. It ain't there haphazardly. It's there to get your attention. Why is it telling you God stuff this way, guys think like this, and you can't think like a mortal because a mortal think like this, and it's the same shit. You know, it's the same shit. Yeah, they've been putting in a lot of movies about the black goo. As a matter of fact, the most popular one is Venom from Spider-Man. Venom is a personified black goo creature. And they kind of work something like that, but they only talk through the heart chakra. Meaning that when you, like for instance, my curse was unrequited love. So I'm probably going to be single till I die. But I'm good with that. Because as soon as I tell somebody I love them, it's over with. The relationship done. No, I can't do nothing to hold on to it because that's the curse. And it is tied to the black goo. When the black goo was removed from me, one of my students took it out. The Green 8, Dariel, took the residual black goo out. And he was like, man, what is this? I was like, it's the black goo, man. I didn't even go into it with him at that point. But ever since then, things has been happening at an alarming rate, and opening my eyes to a lot of things. One of the things is the process of the judgment day. We all right, India. We got this under control, sweetie. So the judgment day, when the processes take place in the body, and we start to move up in the ascension, we start to see what it means about judgment day. See, everybody think that judgment day means God gonna come up there like the judge in the courtroom, hammer the gavel and give you a sentence, and it don't work like that, or with the gods, or with the ascended masters, or none of that. That's not how judgment day works. Somebody had to call judgment day. The curses are different, Juanita, but your life path, when you step back and you don't look at your life that you was living, you look at it from a third person perspective. Watch how you lived your life, and everything time something was going good, you did or said something, and then it all went south. Within a couple of weeks, it all goes south real fast. Your curse is whatever it was you did is the manifestation of it. Soon as you, like for instance, some people are not allowed to have wealth. You can work and do good, but as soon as you cross a certain dollar barrier, you lose everything you got. You lose everything you got and you can't control it. And this is why a lot of celebrities die poor. Because that's their curse. Some people curse to not be allowed to have wealth. They can have everything in the world, but they can't have money. They can't accumulate wealth. That was a part of mine too. Because I can get the money. That's not hard. Getting money is easy. So once you learn how to ascend to your God self internally, and you know that for some people, ceremonial rites is what they call it, ceremonial magic. Ceremonial rites can accelerate the ascension. And then you know that when you start feeling all this crazy stuff inside, watch the thought. Remember, the thought is the cause of it all. Watch the thought. Let's say, for instance, it's one of your kids who you